Hello, my name is Jason, and welcome back to I Have a Story. Today I have a question. Why is it when somebody is diagnosed professionally with severe mental disorders, why they're left to be on their own? Why is it not automatic at that point that people in that person's life, their friends, their family, their children, why are they not automatically involved in a case? Now, I understand doctor-patient confidentiality situations, but this is a problem that causes severe problems in life. Severe abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, all of it. It's part of what is wrong with what ruined my marriage in case. Now, my wife at the time was seeing a psychiatrist. For the last year I was with her, that psychiatrist put her on a different medication every 30 to 60 days until they found one that worked. Now, one problem I have with that is now I know from talking to my counselor that there are tests that can be run that specifically tell them what medication they need to be on. So why are we just throwing random drugs at people and not using the technology we have to do it right? Now, through that year, a little over a year, every 30 to 60 days, I got a totally different wife. Some of these made her very moody, angry, explosive anger. Some of them made her sad and depressed, do nothing but lay around and cry all day. Some of them made her completely brain dead zombie, just walked around. I mean, she would walk around with her arms locked to her sides, and I've never seen her act like that before, except for that time period she was on that medication. If that is not bad enough in itself, she finally found one that was working and got her at least under control to a point where I could help control her. I could help keep her moods positive and keep her. And I'm telling you, it was so hard with knowing all that she has done to me and what she has done to my life and the affairs she had in her marriage. I still sucked it up and tried to do my best for her. And while that medication wasn't perfect, at least it was working. And she told her doctor it was working. She was on that medication for 2 months. For 2 months, I got a wife that was somebody I could actually hold on to. It helped keep her from turning on me, which is what this mental disorder does. It's part of why she's done it to every husband she had before me. I'm not the first man she's done this to. She's done it to every husband before me and me. So then the big problem came in is she went to her psychiatrist and said, medication's making me put on weight and I don't like it. Can we change to a different one? And her psychiatrist did. Now, this is a severe mental illness that she suffers from. She causes anger, abuse, and according to her, she was telling me that she was communicating that with her psychiatrist. Now, if I had been involved, I would know her psychiatrist would know this stuff. But here's part of the problem, too. Her name is Lori, I believe it was Anderson. Don't quote me on that one right now. I went and talked to her as a patient myself. She is the only psychiatrist in our entire area. The only one. Now, I went and talked to her about the abuse and what was going on in our house, and my wife abusing me verbally, physically, her mental illness, verbally, physically abusing our children. And again, another professional did nothing. I'm reporting physical abuse on my children again to another professional, and they did nothing. So after talking to my community and sharing with people, yeah, I went and talked to the psychiatrist, and she wouldn't even talk to me. She literally pushed me out of her office, told me she wouldn't see me again, and would not talk to me. That's wrong. When I'm there reporting abuse on minor children, 2-year-old little girl, 3-4-year-old little boy, every professional is supposed to stand up and do something. And she didn't. She pushed me out of her office and told me she wouldn't see me again. So after sharing that story with my community, several people have come out now and said, you know why? It's because she abuses her husband. I've had several people tell me I've watched her scream and yell at her husband in public and then slap him in the face in front of everybody. So how is this our psychiatrist? How is this our professional who's in charge and her word is what sticks, goes, and she's the one who's obviously got mental illness herself? You don't hit and abuse anybody, ever. So now I know why that woman pushed me out of her office, and she's the only professional in our area who's in this field. Are you kidding me? If that is all true, are you kidding me? So how can a psychiatrist with somebody who has a severely diagnosed mental condition, and in my case, she had 5 of them, severe 5 professionally diagnosed 5 severe mental illnesses. Why would we change her medication? And why would I, especially me as her husband, not be allowed as not even a part of that, not even be a part of that treatment, but not even be allowed to be a part of that treatment? I can show you text messages over years where I've asked my wife at the time, let me be a part of this, let me help you, let me be involved, and she wouldn't let me because she's too scared. That's part of the problem. These people with mental illnesses are scared to open up and tell their problem because, especially in my case, she's already been locked, forced into mental institutes, psych wards. She has it. I have it. A complete documented history of it. She has cried over and over, don't ever let that happen to me again. And I promised her I wouldn't. And I tried not to let that happen. I tried getting help for our family, but keeping our family together and not let anybody hurt her. I tried to protect her while she's attacking me at the same time. I even did it for this past year and a half, and it's over. Gloves are off. Here it is. I'm starting my battle way too late. I had 2 of my best friends murdered in the past year. I lost my kids. Had the system let me down. I mean, the depression has just been unreal. Laying on the ground, shaking, crying, trembling, not being able to move has been unreal. I'm dying a slow death because I can't eat, I can't sleep, and I'm smoking cigarettes like I'm a chimney. And it is killing me. My tongue is black and it hurts. And I can't stop. Even reported to my doctor a year and a half ago. I have no treatment. Here, put me on a medication, ma'am. It's not working. Well, all right. See ya. Never tried anything else. Never worked with me. These doctors are horrible. I mean, horrendously horrible. I had a court order 3 months ago, 2 months ago, give or take. I have 1 week to supply medical documentation. I have the recorded conversation from just a couple days ago where I called. I need that documentation. I had 1 week to turn it into the court. This is the court that controls my life. I recorded that call. Do you guys have that paperwork yet? 3 months later? No, that was 2 months. 3 months is my cardiovascular testing. That was the 3-month mark. The 2-month, I've been waiting for this paperwork that I needed in 1 week. Again, by a referee who who is completely biased, and what he did was completely illegal in court. But these are the people in charge. Again, I'm sick of it. But no, they still haven't gone through my medical documentation. She hasn't even started on it yet. It's 2 months later. I needed it in 1 week. So I called a different doctor because I've had it. You've heard me complain about this doctor's office repeatedly. I've had it. But they can't get me in for 5 more months. 6 months, 7 months, I don't know, or November. I just started November. Today's what, November 3rd, I think. And April 14th, I think they said they could get me in. We have all these frivolous appointments. We can't see anybody in a timely fashion, but we make money doing nothing and screwing people over. Okay, back to my God. So I want to know, why do we change medications when we find one that's working? Why do we not do the proper testing to find out what needs to be done? Why do we not even allow other people to be a part of a severely dangerous situation and try to resolve it and keep it together as a family and try to work and actually make progress? Instead, that doctor made it worse, took her off her medications, put her out of control. As it was, I can show you and prove to you in text messages that we had. My wife at the time forgot to take her medication. She does it all the time. She'll overdose on her medication. She did that. And then asked her doctor to change all at the same time within 2 weeks of each other. It threw her in a complete mental spiral. That doctor is just as responsible for what happened here as everybody else in the complete system who screwed us. And these are the professionals who are in charge, and it's their job, and there's the ones who stick. We don't know what the hell is going on in this world and why people are having so many struggles. We could make a big difference in this world, and we don't. They get paid for their 30 minutes, an hour, kick you out the door, wash their hands of that case, and move on to the next one. They don't have time. They don't have resources. But yet, again, we pay entertainers and athletes millions and millions of dollars to entertain us, but not actually make a difference in this world. I'm sick of it. So why? Why are, when people are diagnosed with severe mental illness, are people in their lives not automatically, it should be mandatory that their family members, their friends, their spouses, their children are involved? How can somebody who is scared to tell you what's wrong with them, somebody who has a mental disorder and a chemical imbalance in their brain, who can't think straight, operate, and function correctly, how are they supposed to be the ones to communicate properly? They can't. It's impossible. That's part of why it fails over and over and over. It's not hard to see one bit, not at all. It is plain as day, either that or can just see right through this stuff. Like, we need a Jack Nicholson, anger management. Those are the people who would be worth $1 million a year. Somebody who will take 3 weeks, a month of their life and go sit and live in your house and watch it. That is what it would take. Or we take these people out of the house. Even in my case, where I reported it over and over, and not even did I only report it, I documented it, I recorded it, I can prove it, and I can prove a complete, entire documented history of this woman doing it. And still don't nobody care. And they wonder why we got kids dying, doing drugs, out prostituting, having promiscuous sex. All of it. Duh. You expose the children and put them in there, and these courts enforce that these children are in those situations, even after it's provable, even after you go in there and file against it. Every single time for 16 years, I've been denied and had my rights taken away because I can prove it, and even had a judge tell me, wait, you documented this abuse? You documented the problems with your kid? You're not going to be able to talk to your kid no more. What the hell is that? Wait, my son is being drugged against doctor's orders. I can prove it because I recorded it. I recorded the doctors yelling at her, his mother. You are not, this medication, his diet, and his playing football and the strenuous activities are causing him to have severe heart conditions, and this needs to stop now. That should obviously be documented in his medical record in that emergency room. I recorded that conversation. His mother still continued, and that kid has severe problems today because of it. And possibly lifelong, and he may even die a shortened life because of what his mother did. Also, she could maintain control. I have 2 full cases I can 110% prove on just this right now, what it's done to our children. But yet the system again lets it continue and enforces it, empowers it. And we wonder what's wrong with our kids. So I want to know, why is this not being taken seriously? I want to know why we do the very bare minimal to say, hey, we did something. Look, there's something here that exists, even though it's a complete 100% failure. And I'd like to know if it ever does actually succeed at anything. And if it does, is it just a skim coating of progress? Is it only for people who have minor disorders that it actually does make a difference for? And how in the world can our professionals who, again, I live in a small community. I love it because everybody knows everybody and everybody knows everybody's business. I know who's who and who to stay away from, who I can trust, who I can't, and I learned it darn near overnight. I love it. I don't have to be in a big city where now I have thousands of strangers that I don't know and whether I can trust or not here. I know my neighbors. I know my community. I walk into the store, we talk to each other and say hi and call each other by name. So why? Why is this being taken so lightly and just sugar-coated and not doing the things that actually make sense? Why are diagnosed severe mental disorders, why are they not treated with actual care? The answers are really simple in how we do it. And again, I will say this repeatedly. It starts with you and me. It starts with the people. We start supporting the things that actually mean something in life. Quit acting like a bunch of children. Quit just swallowing in entertainment and just please me and make me happy. And then when tomorrow devastation happens, we don't understand why. And it hurts so bad because we've hid from it for so long. We've been cushioned so much over the decades that people have lost the ability to sit and face anything that's difficult. I don't want to look at it. I want to look away and just entertain me. It's all wrong and it needs to stop. And that's how it stops right there. And it's the very start to it. We start supporting our systems. We start funding our systems. We start lighting fires under people. And when people are doing wrong and bad, we get them out and get somebody in there who can. That's obvious, honest, straightforward progress. Why aren't we doing it?